You know what's odd about this film? It struck me is that we don't actually watch that many cop movies.
No,
it's weird. It's like it's kind of stuck out because we
can't imagine why.
One or two
on yelling about movies.
Yelling about movies, yeah.
Not that many cop movies.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, but you know.
Well, I mean, bank robberies always involve.
Yeah, involve cops, but usually the people doing the robbing. But this is.
Can we talk about this face for 1 second?
Hey, that was going to be my other. That's my other screenshot, Dad. That's
Can we talk about this fucking face?
That character reveal.
God damn.
One of the best ever.
And also, he does the RoboCop. He does the RoboCop shooting at the.
Yeah. He shoots the target, just obliterates the head.
And Jason Patrick is just like,
who's that?
Can we talk about
steps back out?
Both of these actors are in absolute top form here. Specifically, Jason Patrick. I have never seen that guy, and I am a fan, by the way. But that guy in this picture, I think he's very selective, or maybe people don't like him. But
no, he's one of those failure to launch guys we were talking about last week.
But in this picture, I mean, he is balls to the wall. He is so good in this fucking movie.
Oh, Jason Patrick?
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
He's amazing.
He's really good in this.
They're both excellent. They're both just in top form here.
It was kind of interesting.
Who annoyed you, Jim?
Let's do Jim's corner now.
Jason Patrick.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Was it
it's not him. I mean, his character.
His character annoyed you.
No, I'll tell you one thing about his character. It was kind of too.
It was almost like Last Action Hero level of parody of itself, but it didn't seem to realize that it was a parody.
Do you want to watch Last Action Hero? We can watch Last.
No, please don't.
We can contrast and compare, and I'll disagree with you all up and down Temecula.
That film doesn't exist. Move on.
That's okay, Jared. We've got a relationship that's been established, and it is to disagree with one another. You're wrong, and I'm amused.
Of course.
Well, anyway, his character, Patrick's character, is kind of an interesting paladin. Part of him, he's like a narc, so he's kind of used to doing a lot of violence and action and shooting people and the whole 9 yards. But he talks very procedurally. He has the rules and everything in the top of his head, ready to spat out at any moment's notice. It's a strange 2-level character.
But he can also go right into a crack den and speak their language as well.
Yeah, it's really neat, and it's like he encompasses it well, but it's kind of hot too.
It's also hard for me to root for any cop, I guess.
Well, that's why I don't do many cop movies.
No, absolutely. The thing I will say about this movie, though, is that the moments where Jason Patrick's character looks at Ray Liotta and is like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like what in the actual fuck are you doing?" is something that we didn't have in films before this. Like maybe Serpico would be the only one I can think of, but like this movie has that separation between like
the two characters don't trust each other. They never,
not at all,
never.
Right. And that's the interesting thing about it, is that they have to work together.
Well, and Busta Rhymes says, "Why did you lock the door?"
Okay, that means that
if you trusted him, you wouldn't.
Busta Rhymes is actually the best character in it. His little thing
correct.
about
You're correct, and also he calls him Coolio when he's dragging
him. Yes,
when he's dragging him.
The first thing
actually,
I thought of.
I was going to say, I was
brutal.
Going to say all of the side characters in this movie are so fucking good. All of the guys that they go see, that guy that burned his girlfriend.
What's his name? Chris Ortiz.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
dude, that guy's hilarious.
Puto sucio.
The fucking line where he's like, all, when you guys got a lot of men, I use my last match on that bitch.
I love you, baby.
That's a good woman.
Yeah, the only guy didn't have to stretch was Shia McBride, who always plays the same character in everything. But
but Shia McBride is awesome in everything.
He's always awesome. So
he was great as the principal in Boston.
But also,
or whatever.
Yeah, it's the same character. It doesn't matter.
It's the same character. And what the fuck happened to his head?
Yeah, but
hey man, shut up.
Everyone's so good. Everyone's so good in this pic. Like the only bad thing I can say about this picture is that it's like riddled with like cop and detective cliches in the script, but other than that, I think
What
this is
I'm
like
saying, it doesn't seem to be self-aware.
no. I think it is. I think
Uh,
it's just. I think it rises above because
Yeah,
because of good direction. And also, let's talk about how the cinematography looks like it could have been a lost movie from the 70s. Like I feel
It
like
could have been Tony
that was-
Scott's movie.
Yes
This
and no, but the color grading and specifically the editing made it very much an artifact of its time, and it
Yes.
Very much.
it pulled me out of it a couple of times.
2003. That
See,
was
part of
that
me
was
though,
the
thinks
The
dawn.
that this could
whole
have been like
Brian De Palma 3, 4, 6
It was the
Yeah.
flashbacks that
multiple
bugged me.
frames.
That didn't bug me, but the flashbacks did.
yeah, but also this.
With the
But I also-
explosive audio hits.
Yeah,
I feel like this could have been. I mean, but this could have been a Friedkin film, maybe, or someone like that. And
It wants to be the French Connection of its
yeah,
time.
if Friedkin
Right.
Hold on.
admitted
Did no one actually catch what this film refers to? It is like, am I the only person here? It's A Touch of Evil.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
now
basically
there's a
Touch of
good
Evil.
cop flick.
But it's about, dedicated good cop trying to solve the cop, get partner with the cop who's actually trying to hide a lot of shit. It isn't.
Mhm.
Now, the first one's a lot less like horrific than this one, but it's a very,
Except he
very
kills the guy under a mistake.
Yeah, I know, but it's a very similar. It's very similar to Touch of
Well,
Evil.
but Jason Patrick kills him under exact understanding of what's going on.
Oh my god,
He
This-
just shoots him.
He seems
and
to
it's-
be surprised when he finds
But
out that it's
Yeah, he does
actually-
not. As a matter of fact, he's under the impression that Ray Liotta's character killed him,
Yeah, was the murderer.
It's
the
dirty.
murderer, and it was a suicide. So
This is-
Yeah.
what a bummer.
But was it? But
We
was
don't
it?
really know.
Right.
Yes,
That's
it
the
was
thing
also
about
like
this.
it's like
because-
Rashomon too.
Oh.
Yes, because the drug dealers are like, no, he shot him. Like he
Yeah.
walked into that tunnel, he walked up.
But
and
they
shot
also-
him.
It's funny
but they all-
because in both versions of the shooting, the drug
Right.
dealers are like way gone.
Yes,
But you
Yeah.
can't. But you
it's
can't.
one or the other. It's
No, but you
either
can't-
He
you
shot
can't trust-
himself,
You
or
can't trust the drug dealers either, though, because they say, "Yeah, Oak fucking fired at us," and then when they show you the flashback, it's actually fucking the druggy
Right.
cop that fired at them.
Right.
So they're
does that matter if you get shot in the shoulder?
no. What I'm saying is,
They
Running-
both get shot in the
shot, so-
shoulder. Yeah.
I'm saying it's so
Yeah.
well written that you can't trust because they don't know who actually shot them. If you think
No, but
about
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Like it could very well be one or the other. It could
Right.
be that
Yeah.
It could be that he
Oak
killed them,
shows
or
up
that he,
and
Going
kills
back to
himself,
the
and
Rashomon
or
thing.
Oak shows up and
Well,
kills him.
do we
I
give
just kept
more
having
weight?
flash.
The flashbacks
Go
are done
ahead.
4 different ways, and very much like Rashomon. So,
But do we give more weight to Oak's retelling of it as he's dying because he is dying?
No,
no,
I
you
do.
don't.
You're
I
gonna
don't
keep
believe any
lying?
of them. They're all
No,
yeah,
I think
because he's
Brad.
a
He died with a
cop.
line on his lips, man. That's what happened.
No, I think he
what do you
tells the
think
truth.
happened after the final fade out?
What I
Chad
think-
McBride sends them all off to
Jason
you know.
Patrick gets his desk job.
Yeah, Jason Patrick
Think so? Or
absolutely
you think
gets
he
his
gets
death
fired
shot.
or thrown in jail?
I think his wife shoots Jason Patrick
Oh, okay.
No,
shoots him.
no, he gets
and
his
talks
desk
to him
job.
while he's dying.
He absolutely gets his desk job,
Mhm.
and Ray Liotta's character gets thrown under the bus for truth or not. And my
Well,
assumption
Ray
is true.
Liotta's character's dead, right?
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like
But
his
his
character,
His
the
name.
character is dragged through the mud.
yeah.
Character.
And-
Highly overrated.
yes, also Ray Liotta, highly overrated.
No, he does. Patrick quits.
No.
Oh, holy shit! Ray Liotta's terrifying in this movie.
He's so good. In
Oh,
this
He is a
movie.
Hulk.
good.
He's back to what he was in
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Good
Better-
God, I'm scared of him. I'm scared of that man.
With Jonathan Demme.
Oh, something wild.
Remember the first time Liotta popped up on the radar? He was
Something
the bad
Wild.
guy in Something Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
crying.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
That was good. But yeah, no, he's terrifying in this. He's also just
He's only 2 years older than me.
he's also so fucking huge
Are
in
you
this, like
kidding?
physically.
I'm
Yeah, he's
surprised
like a
he's 2
bear.
years older than
I
you.
mean, Jim, this could have been you running around with a shotgun threatening everybody's life. It's like you're.
Since I lost my shotgun, no, I don't.
Well, I think at the end of the film, what happens is that he quits the force, moves to New York, and becomes a photojournalist, and meets this nice French girl.
This is
If
this
that was
is like one of
pantomime,
the
man,
best.
that was awesome.
This is
That was
one of the
pantomime
best.
Chris.
I think this is one of the best openings, like almost ever. That chase is.
Oh, when
just
he's running,
amazing.
when he's running at him with the gun.
Oh yeah.
The-
Yeah. Oh yeah. That whole
this
whole
movie
opening, like
starts off
I
really
felt the
strong.
injection
I
scene
hadn't-
was reminiscent of Terminator 2.
I hadn't seen this movie for many
Blue
years.
tint to everything was also reminiscent.
I used to watch this movie quite a bit.
I've
I
been
haven't
to
seen it for a
Detroit,
long
and I can
time.
tell you it's all blue, like the whole city.
But by the time he shoots at the end of the opening, after he shoots the guy and he goes over to the woman and she's bleeding and he's wrapping her up and he's screaming, like when that scene cut, I actually felt my heart going faster and I exhaled. Like it was very, very tense.
Yeah.
I said I love the first 7/8 of this movie, and I do. And I was watching it going, God, I forgot how fucking good this is. Even despite the fact that the camera gymnastics does occasionally, like John said, sort of take me out of it. It's definitely of its time. But I'm sorry, like I just feel like the close is not as strong as the first. The first.
Well, they have to end
Report.
it somewhere, Chris.
Well, I know, but it's just what they chose. Like it just, I don't know. Maybe this is one of like, God, I feel like I've seen this. Like, and then the sort of like,
Had you
I'm
seen
just
this
gonna
in
walk off to the
2003?
right, and the
It's
screen's
every-
gonna fade to black. And I don't know. I kind of like it was almost like it was funny because it was.
Had
almost
you
like
seen this in
It was
2003?
like Dragnet with swearing.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, but
That's legit.
I just didn't feel like how they.
I think it's a
chose
little more
to
gory
as
than Dragnet.
Interesting as everything that had led
Yeah,
up to.
with swearing.
Swearing, yeah.
Yeah, but Dragnet never has internal affairs and cops. You know,
I'm
investigating
motherfucking
each
Joe
other.
Friday. This is fucking
The-
Victoria, the LA fucking.
The cops are
The movie
unimpeachably the
sets a
force of
very
good
high
in
bar
Dragnet.
for itself. The
You know
first
what I mean. If you
hour and a
update
half,
it-
and it just didn't clear it at the end for me.
I mean, if you update if you update Perry Mason, it's basically just Law and Order.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
Oh, question though about the bit where Jason Patrick's character goes to talk to the dead cop's wife. You know, the kid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he comes over and drags him out basically by his ear and screams at him.
Yeah.
He's obviously like they all say, "It's daddy" or whatever, or uncle, blah blah, and they jump on his lap, and he has a good relationship with them. They know him,
Right.
right? Well, do you think? I thought for a good part of the movie after that, he was trying to horn in on that family. I thought
No.
he was
No,
trying-
No.
I got
It's the little
feeling
girl
that
that
she
he
was
rescued.
the 10-year-old girl he rescued.
That's the 12-year-old
the
girl he
10
rescued.
Yeah, that's the
10-year-old.
10-year-old girl.
So it was going to a weird place for me.
Or
I thought.
12 or whatever she was.
But no, that's absolutely it's the 10-year-old girl that he rescued,
Yeah.
and he set her up
Yep.
with Michael
Right.
later in
It's
life.
more like a daughter to him.
And she
Yeah.
drove him to heroin.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's a real piece of shit.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Those
Uh,
are
Not as big as
Sheila
she was
Well,
pointed
that's
out-
the end of this. Anyway, have a good night, everyone.
You can cut there. Sheila pointed out something, and I felt it too. Is that the opening of the movie is great, high impact, and all that stuff. But then we get that conference room scene where they're grilling Jason Patrick character, and you think it's all about he's in trouble, and all of a sudden it does this 180 where it's like, we need you back, and we're going to give you this offer.
Well,
And
both
that
things are
rang-
true.
That rang completely false to both of us. It was just
No,
like
both-
bullshit
both-
that would never, ever, ever happen in any. No, it doesn't.
Both
make
things
sense.
are true. Like he is in trouble, but also they need him
Right.
because
I
they
agree with
bring
that.
up his record of being in deep cover
Well,
drug
he's also
and
he's
all
also
that.
under the surface. He became a drug addict himself. So there's this whole other part to his character where he had to fucking learn he had to wean himself off drugs.
Yeah.
Right.
But also he's the guy who didn't get found out. Like
Right.
the one guy who found him out, he shot.
Right.
So
He had cover still, which is what
Yeah.
to get. Yes.
which
But he
is
was a
why they
bad
come
cop.
out.
He was a very talented bad cop apparently, and
This whole movie is about bad cops.
that's
There
true.
are no
But
good
also
cops.
though,
No, there certainly aren't.
Except for Shy
there's all
McBride.
these like like the opening, which is so crazy the way it's filmed, and it's supposed to be that frenetic, and of course a lot of the cool just camera there's a lot of action going on in this picture. But another reason I like this movie is because if you remember the very first shot, it's just a shot of Jason Patrick and just the sound of the world, Detroit, very quiet, and he's just kind of thinking.
Right.
And that's before the guy, with the needles runs out of the house. And they do that again when after the opening, the very next time you see him, he's in a shower and it's very quiet.
Right.
And the camera pans down and he's holding a little baby in the shower.
Right.
I mean,
There's like-
do you-
there's
do you-
moments
do you
like
mean,
that.
Do you mean Jason Patrick being
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
The
I
thinker.
love I love that shot. I love how it opens. I love the tone of it. And so I also think Joe Carnahan, at least in this movie, he sort of knows when to give you a little bit of breath, and he does it in a way that actually means something. And it reminds me of Michael Mann a little bit, yeah. But when they pan down to that baby in the shower, that gets me in the feels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, Tad wants Ethan Hawke's hair, but I want Jason Patrick's mustache.
There you go. Also, does this film feel like
That's
Yeah,
perfectly
just
reasonable.
shave it a little bit.
this
You,
film?
yeah, you could do it, Jim.
there.
You can do it, Jim. Just cut it off right there. See?
Right there, yeah.
Did this film need 23 producers?
20,
Did I started
20
counting them
20
because you guys
21.
mentioned it.
I know, I counted them. I was on my fingers at the end of the film.
That was
I
couldn't,
don't have that many fingers and toes.
21. It has more producers than has speaking parts.
Because
It does.
they couldn't. I read all about they couldn't get this picture finished, and they went way over budget, way over time. The crew was working, and they weren't getting paid,
Oh man.
and so they
And-
threatened to quit.
And Joe Carnahan and Jason Patrick donated their paychecks to the crew.
Ellen was good.
Did you have a corner, Jim,
Ellen
or
was
do you
good.
have anything to say?
Jim's
about
corner. We kind of got a little Jim's corner. He doesn't like cops.
Yeah, I spread it out amongst the whatever.
it? Oh, was normally
You know,
Jim's
I'll
corner
just
is
say
a
this.
cab.
I think The Simpsons did it better with McBain.
Ah!
I thought that was a parody on Schwarzenegger.
Last call.
It
Totally
is.
is.
So you're way off base once again, Mr. Beasto.
All right. Well, anyway, wait, wrong.
Thumbs up.
Um,
Thumbs up for
good
sure.
stuff.
Big thumbs up.
Good stuff. Very
Big
glad
thumbs
I
up.
watched it. It was
I like
very,
the ending, but I love-
one thing is
I
like
get
it
that.
seems kind of grainy and awful, but I couldn't, in terms of how it looks, but I could not take my eyes off the screen. It was just compelling.
Very
Acting
well
was
executed.
extremely good, and it was the
Yeah.
blood was perfect.
I love that close up of Ray Liotta where it looks like his face has been painted with
Yeah.
rubber cement.
I know.
I mean, every single close up of Ray Liotta.